Okay. So, do you want to know how to increase your response rates on your cold pitches just by using one sentence? So, that's the power of a call to action, also known as a CTA. And a call to action is basically just telling someone what you want them to do. And that might seem weird or pushy. Like, isn't just emailing someone and sharing your portfolio enough? Well, actually, no, because as humans, we are bombarded with messages daily. And what our brains need and what our brains appreciate is messages that make it easy and just say, hey, what do you want me to do? So there are two different types of calls to action that are appropriate for cold pitching freelance copywriting clients. I'm going to tell you what those two CTAs are and when the appropriate time to be using these different CTAs are. So if you don't know me already, I'm Christine. I'm a freelance technology copywriter. But before I built my freelance copywriting business, I was in sales selling technology for 10 years. So now I teach other freelancers how to build their freelance copywriting business using the art of cold pitching, which basically just means cold messaging someone and asking them, hey, do you want to become my client? So I just share the principles that I've learned throughout my career and how to not annoy people, how to not sound salesy, and how this can actually be so effective to build your freelance copywriting business. So back to calls to action, okay? A call to action is basically just a short phrase that usually appears at the end of your cold pitch message, and it's asking the other person to do something that moves the interaction forward. So for copywriters and for anyone trying to build a freelance business, you're going to ask for two different things at two different times. You're going to ask them for their interest, meaning you're going to gauge whether they need what you're offering, and then you're going to ask them for their time. So an example of an interest-based call to action is, are you currently looking for a freelance copywriter for your email marketing strategy? A time-based CTA would be, do you have 15 minutes this Friday so I can learn more about your content marketing strategy? So do you see the difference? One just gauges their interest, meaning like, is this something you're actually looking for right now? If so, here's my information. The second one is a little bit more aggressive and actually asks them to meet with them, put time on the calendar. One is asking for their interest. The second is asking for their time. So one is more appropriate for an introductory message, meaning gauging their interest is totally important or totally appropriate in your first message, whereas asking for their time might be more appropriate in the second phase. So think of your cold messages on LinkedIn kind of similar to how you would interact on a dating app. The first message you send on a dating app is not, hey, let's go on a date. There's other stuff that comes before that. There's lighter questions. So you could ask things like, are you looking for a relationship? Or if you are past that point and you're trying to, set up the date, you could say, do you like sushi? Do you like wine? These are softer, lighter questions that are a little less aggressive than saying, hey, do you want to go on a date? And once you confirm that there is an interest and that there is a need for what it is you're offering, then it's appropriate to come in with that time-based call to action. So here's the problem. Many freelancers leave out a call to action in their message, right? So they either think, okay, I'm being too pushy by putting this question at the end of my message, or they think that, well, my message is self-explanatory. I'm pitching them. If they were interested, they would just come to me and say, yeah, I'm interested. But that's not true, okay? So when someone has received your pitch, they received your email, they read your portfolio, they're interested, your CTA, what it does is it makes it as easy as possible for that person to respond. So you're basically giving them the words to respond to your message. So, think of it like this. This is the final line of your email, and it makes them want to take action on everything that they just read. So if your last message is, hey, do you have 15 minutes this Friday? It makes it so easy for the person to say, yeah, Friday works for me. And their brains don't have to work so hard. There's less of a chance of them getting distracted and clicking off of your email. And it's making this frictionless experience, which is what we say in sales and what we say in marketing, is like, how can we make our messages so concise, so simple, so that we can cut through the noise and make it as effortless as possible for the other person on the other end of that message to agree or say yes or buy or whatever our desired action is. So now that I've told you what a CTA is, you're going to notice them everywhere. So they're in marketing messages, they're in emails, they're in commercials. So at the end of a commercial, they'll say, and if you're interested, call this toll-free number now, or they'll say, visit our website and you can get a coupon. These are all examples of calls to action. Web pages will always at the end have something at the bottom that's prompting you to click or visit or download. Those are all calls to action. And as writers or as people, no matter what your industry is, if you're selling anything, you need to have a call to action for your message to be effective. It's a little psychological tip in terms of cold pitching is just ending with this one simple phrase, and it can really increase your response rates. So good luck in using your CTAs. Please reach out to me if you have success stories with your CTA. If you want to know overall how to structure these messages, go to paidcopywriter.com and you can see these CTAs in action. You can see them in practice because I have a free download that basically has screenshots and templates of exactly what to say in these messages, from the opener to the subject line to the body and of course the CTA. And you get to see those in like I said, in action and used in a practical way, and they're not as pushy and awkward as they might seem. So good luck, guys.